Hello,
Welcome.
gabbing it up. I'm Haley.
And I'm Daijah. I don't even know what episode it is no more. Way too far in.
14. We're on
We're
episode
almost at
4.
15
Yeah, kind of crazy. We've been doing this for a matter of weeks now, a matter of months, really.
months. Yeah,
Kind of
that's really
crazy.
crazy.
But welcome. I'm so glad you're here. If you're listening or if you're watching, hi, how are you? If you've never listened to Gabbing It Up before, we're just two girly pops, and we like to talk about internet things, pop culture things, specifically in the book community. We do like one bookish episode every other week, and then on the off weeks when we're not talking about books, which is kind of what we're known for, we're just talking about some random shit that we think is interesting and
Mhm.
intriguing. And one of those episodes is today. So we're going to be educating each other on essential social media drama, scandal. Is that how you would describe it?
Yeah, I don't know if I would say mine's essential because the one, okay, the one that I really want to talk about is recent. So I don't know if it's like essential, but like it's been weighing on me.
Ooh, then I need to hear about it. I I guess a better way to describe it would be like our current hyperfixations or like essential
Yes.
to us.
Yes.
Period. All right. Well, before we get into our main topic, what's up in your personal life? We'll get into personal updates.
Well, if you're watching, you can see that I'm in a different location than I've been in previously. And I talked about this last week. Basically, I moved home. Today's Thursday, and I moved home on Sunday. So I've been home for a couple days. I'm finally getting things organized. My library room is still a mess, but my room is settled. So I'm happy because Lord, the amount of clothes, I was like, "Where am I gonna put the clothes?" Like, I was like, "I don't have the space." Like, the space, it's just not accommodating for the amount of clothes that I have. So that was interesting debacle, and my parents, before I came home, actually were really sweet, and I asked my dad for 2 things. I asked if he could replace my toilet seat because the top of it had a whole bunch of, like, hair dye speckles. Like, just red
No.
splotches, yeah, and then, you know when toilet seats, you have them for a long time and they start to, like, change color?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I asked him to do that, and to the toilet paper holder has been broken basically since I've lived in this house, so I literally just put my toilet paper, like, on the sink counter, like so I was like, "Can you just fix those?" And he did that, gave me a new shower head, recaulked my sink, did the pipes underneath my sink because it started to have a leak, and gave me a new faucet.
Okay, he went to Home Depot and slayed.
Yeah, he did, and then when I was moving home, my dad did that, like, a couple days before I came home because the week prior, he had surgery for a hernia, so he basically could not really help me move. He came, but, like, he really wasn't supposed to lift anything, and, like, me and my mom are tiny women, so we were like, "What the fuck we gonna do?" So we asked my boyfriend and my brother-in-law to help, and that's how my boyfriend met my family because he was just supposed to meet my parents and my brother-in-law, but we went out to get food, and my sister came with her kids too. So he met everybody, and I also met his family. We talked about this. I met his family
Yeah.
too, so everybody met, and it was a good time.
Everything went well.
Yeah, everything went well. I mean, the food choice that we chose was not great, but everything else, everybody meeting everybody was good. His family is quieter than mine, so that's interesting, and then also they're very different because, you know, his family, he has 2 older sisters, both of them are pregnant, one of them already has kids, so, like, they have significant others, whatever. So,
They're
I feel like for
settled.
yeah, so I feel like for his family, me coming in, they they, like, talked to me, but, like, they weren't asking me a million and 5 questions about, like, trying to get to know me necessarily, but with my mom, she's the very opposite. She literally would just kept asking him questions, and I was like, "Girl, he is a quiet man, lay off." No, he's very quiet. So, I was like, "He don't even wanna talk that much for real."
That's so cute. I'm so happy everything went well.
Yeah, it did go really good, and I was like, not him meeting my niece and nephew. I was like, those are, like, the last people I would have expected him to meet, but he met him, and my niece was staring at him, like, probably like, "Who is this black man with this beard?" Like, 'cause same, 'cause he's, like, tall, kinda big, like, broad, and he's, like, a big black man with a beard, so she was probably like, "I've never seen this before." Well, her dad is black and bigger, but he doesn't have a beard like that, so I feel like it's kind of a different presence.
It was really the beard. That was what did it.
Yeah, she was like, "Who's that?"
That's so funny. Oh my god. Cute. Well, I had my best friend from high school come and
I
stay with
saw.
me. Yeah. So friendship breakups are literally the worst, like
Yeah.
traumatizing. And nobody likes that. It's nice to hear every once in a while about like a successful reconnection because that's definitely what happened between my high school best friend and I. I was totally thinking we would never speak again after we had our little friendship breakup, but recently we've been hanging out. She stayed at my house twice now, and it was so fun. And I'm just so happy that we both took the time to heal and like figure our own shit out, and then we could come back together. And I literally told my therapist yesterday, hanging out with her feels like home. Like it feels like
Mhm.
I am the most authentic version of myself. So it was really cool. And we did a ton of fun stuff. I have one thing that we did that was actually life altering and everyone needs to know about it. I
I
will literally.
saw.
So yeah, there's that. But then there's also, I'll start with the thing that's like not great. So this is kind of also pop culture corner, but whatever. I'll just say it here. Harry Styles has a new brand called Pleasing. Have you heard of
Oh?
this?
No, I know he had
It,
that nail polish brand, but that's it.
it's that. It's that.
Oh, okay.
It's Pleasing. It's like a nail polish, lip balm, and apparel brand. So they had a pop up in Austin. We went so excited. Oh my God, Harry. We had to wait in this line. This bitch had already been open for a week. We waited in this line for 90 minutes just to get in store.
Mm-mm.
And halfway through our wait, I was like, I literally want to leave, but also sunk cost fallacy. Like we'd already been fucking waiting there. I'm like, well, now I need to see it. So we waited
Yeah.
in that damn ass line, finally got in there. The way that a sweatshirt that literally is the same quality as my merch was $95. It's giving
Always
money.
No, yeah, they always be upselling for real.
I don't get it. Like you're already a millionaire.
Rich.
You're already a famous singer. Like why are you selling things for $100? It doesn't make any sense to me.
It's
So
probably because, like, to create the sense of luxury, like,
mhm.
if it's a higher price, people think it's more luxurious, so there's like, a higher demand for it. But still, like,
Yeah.
just atrocious. Like, come on.
So overpriced. So I was like, okay, I'm definitely not getting apparel. We looked at those nail polishes. Tell me why it was giving $8 OPI for $25.
$25 for a nail polish is really insane.
Yeah. And these girls were lined up buying it. I could not believe my eyeballs. So
Mm-mm.
that was just a moment of like being shaken and stirred.
Yeah.
It's not a pleasing experience, Mr. Harry. I'm going to need you to go back to the drawing board with that one. But the thing that we did that actually altered my life and my brain chemistry, we went to a concert. Okay, we went to the Greta Van Fleet concert. I loved Greta Van Fleet for a while. Like I feel like 2020, like pandemic, was when they really had their come up, and
Mm.
I was obsessed with them. I got obsessed with the song "Broken Bells" and "Heat Above," and "Light My Love" was one of our wedding songs. It was like our entrance song, the first song that we heard as a married couple being announced into our venue. So I love Greta Van Fleet. I've always been a stan. I saw them at ACL in 2021, I think, and it was so great. I had nothing but good things to say, but it didn't have the effect on me that going to like their dedicated show did. When I tell you, it was an experience. I am not lying to you. I literally felt like I was transported into another dimension. So something about me that like people who are close to me know is I have a weird thing about electric guitar. Okay. It's why like Eddie Munson's character on Stranger Things just like is my heart. It's why I love the bands that I love. Like at the beginning of that 1975 song, It's Not Living If It's Not With You, that shit lives in my head. Okay. I just have a weird thing about the electric
Hey,
guitar. It itches my brain.
have you heard Cobra by Meg?
No.
You need to listen to Cobra by Megan Thee Stallion. There is a whole little like I think it's electric guitar like solo at the end of the song. There's also a rock version that's like screamo almost. My sister actually has that on her playlist.
I
Yeah.
actually need to hear that immediately because that is just my
Mm.
thing. It's like my version of ASMR. I fucking love it. When I tell you this man, his name is Jake Kiska. Okay. Twin brothers with the like main singer guy who's like very talented. He's literally Freddie Mercury reincarnated, like just iconic, amazing performer. But his twin brother sitting there on that electric guitar, he had a 30-minute guitar solo. And I was sat for the whole thing.
30
Mm-hmm.
minutes is really long.
He wouldn't stop. Like he wouldn't stop. Like every 10 minutes, we were like, he's done. Nuh-uh. He just kept on going. I lost my marbles. Like, you know, you see those videos of women from like the 50s and 60s, and it's like, why are they freaking out over Elvis like that? Like, why are they doing
Yeah.
that? It's just music.
But you understand.
No, I get it now. I fully get it now because I was having a conniption fit, losing it. So I don't even feel like I need to say this, but the HCU, the Hailey Cinematic Universe, is expanding. We're accepting a new member, and that is Jake Kiska. I'm obsessed with him. And I literally am so inspired. It's not even just that he's like hot and talented and kind of looks like a girlfriend, like he could be my girlfriend. It's not even that. It's that I'm inspired on a cellular level. Like I want to pick up the electric guitar. I want to learn how to do it. It's something that I've always loved. And I think I could do it. I think I could learn.
I think you probably
So,
could. I took guitar when I was a kid. I guess that's a little lore nugget drop.
ooh, mini lore.
Yeah, I did. I did everything as a kid. Like anything you could think of, I did it. So
I
I did
didn't
do
do a
guitar.
lot. I was like very closed off to ideas. Like anything that was suggested to me, I kind of had a reason why I didn't want to do it.
Mm.
I was fully set to like play tennis until we showed up to my first practice and I found out it was outside and then I quit.
Not because it was outside. How did you not
I thought it
know?
was indoor. I thought it was indoor. And we showed up to the rec center. I was like, I'm not going to be out here in the heat of
No.
Texas.
Even my dad, he
So
came up to my room and he was like, "You just like do so many things and you just have so much stuff because you just jump hobbies." And I'm like, "I know. Like this is why reading is kind of like she's a little different because the fact I've stuck with her for this long says a lot. And The Sims, those two, they've prevailed.
that's your consistent routine, reading in The Sims.
Yeah, it actually is. Also, my
Well,
life-changing moment, I just want to say, my life-changing moment is coming in 25 days when I see Megan Thee Stallion. I have a countdown.
oh my God.
And I'm literally like on the floor, like I'm so close to the stage.
I cannot wait to hear about it.
I'm literally gonna see her ass cheeks in front of my face, like live.
Yeah. Live in person. Wait.
I'm ready.
Have you been to shows at this venue on the floor before?
No.
So are you going to make a plan? Are you going to camp out? Are you going to do the whole thing? Because you're short.
No, it's not like the floor, it's not the pit, it's just on the
Oh,
floor. So there's
oh,
assigned seats. I'm not in the pit, I'm just on the floor. So I'm close. I'm not in the pit though, cause but I did get an end seat. That was my plan, is the end seat, because even if there's someone tall in front of me, I can s- look
that is so
around them.
smart.
Yeah.
That was such a clutch decision to
I
make.
know. I was
Well,
like big brain behavior.
I literally can't wait to hear about it. It's gonna be so good.
I'm literally like so excited.
Live music, I don't know. It just like does something to me on a cellular level. I love it.
And I love a performance. Like that's why I'm really excited, because Drake is a performer. Like there are some people who just like sing on stage and like that's cool, but she's like a performer. So I'm gonna be interested to
100%.
see.
Oh my God. Yeah. I have one more
Okay, go ahead.
personal update, but do you have any more? Because this one is also kind of pop culture corner.
Mm-mm.
So let's get into like hybrid personal update pop culture
Okay.
corner. The movie Challengers, bitch.
I haven't seen it yet because I want to see it with my friend who was my roommate, and she's poor. So she's like,
Oh,
wait for my new checks for my new job to come in, and then we can go see it. So I haven't seen it yet, but I'm gonna see it.
you're gonna flip out.
I know. Isn't it the
It is.
bisexual fantasy?
It is. It's like I just want to be a girl with a boyfriend, and my boyfriend has a boyfriend. It's like gay in the best way, but really it's all about Zendaya's character, and she is phenomenal. If she doesn't
Yeah,
win something for this role, I don't know who's gonna win. I don't know who's gonna beat her. Like she literally ate every single thing. Her body was an accessory. Okay, that's my biggest takeaway from the movie, honestly, was walking out of there. I literally kept saying to my friend, her body was a part of her outfit. Like her body was an accessory. Her body, she was acting with her whole body. I don't know how she looked like a tennis pro in this damn movie, but she ate every single crumb. She licked the plate. It was
I know. I've
done.
been hearing. I'm excited.
So good. So if y'all haven't seen Challengers, you have to go see it. And do be prepared for sexual tension. Don't go like see it with your parents or anything like that. You should probably go see it
Uh,
with a girly friend.
that's good to know.
Yeah. Other pop culture updates. My girl Rachel Chinariri. Do you hear her
Okay.
new album? Oh, it absolutely slaps. It's the indie girl fantasy that I needed. And it's gonna be my little summer vibe.
I love that. Yeah, I haven't heard
So
it, but I do have some music news. Have you seen the Kendrick and Drake beef?
bitch, my next note on pop culture update says, make sure to ask daijah about her daddy Drake. What's going on?
I don't know. To be honest with you, I don't know the details. Like, I don't know who started the beef with who. I don't know where the beef was founded, but I can't even like defend Drake at all. Like, Kendrick has been coming for his neck, like on a different level. There was a song he put out, Meet the Grams. And if you don't know, Drake's full name is Aubrey Drake Graham. So, Meet the Grams. And I pulled up some of the lyrics so I can recite them here. He opens up the song with Dear Adondis. And to add context, Adondis is Drake's son.
Oh,
Adonis is Drake's son. He says, "Dear Adonis, I'm sorry that that man is your father. Let me be honest. It takes a man to be a man. Your dad is not responsive." Literally,
whoa.
he said, "Dear Adonis, I'm sorry that that man is your father." Like that's how he opens the song. You're gonna directly address his child in the beginning of the song? I was like, "There's no way." And then he even said, "I look at you and wish your grandpa would have wore a condom." Like I know you're kidding. Like you're so unserious. And then he just goes on talking to Adonis, but then he also goes and talks about um that like basically saying that Drake is on Ozempic and that he got a Brazilian like a BBL and then like all these different things. And then I think he also talks to Drake's mom. Yeah, verse 2 is Dear Sandra, which is Drake's mom. And he like just basically shits on that. And then Dear Dennis, I don't remember who Dennis is. I think that might be his dad. But then the crazy part is towards the end of the song, he goes on to basically be like, Dear Drake's daughter or other child, like I know he doesn't claim you and that he's not there for you. Like, because apparently Kendrick knows something that we don't, and it's basically like Drake has another kid that he's not there for. And I'm like, huh? And then
This
the
is
picture for the hmm?
this is what I heard about.
Yeah, and then there's a picture that's like the cover art for the song, and it's supposedly taken from inside of Drake's house. Like it has like prescription bottles that has Drake's name on it. So then now like people don't know if it's real or not. But if it is real, and even if Drake suspects it's real, he can't trust anybody around him now. Because if that's actually from his house, then he can't trust his team, his like anybody that he works with, his own friends and family, because who took that picture?
Wow.
Yeah, Kendrick has been
Okay,
coming for Drake.
what's the pedophile stuff?
Oh, there is stuff in here about it. Basically, it's a long song. Like it's long. Like the lyrics are there's a lot of them. But basically he's saying that he likes young women.
Yeah, that's what Cameron told me about. He was like, basically, TLDR, Drake has an unclaimed daughter,
Mhm.
and he is also a pedophile, allegedly, according to Kendrick. And Cameron said they went back and forth like 5 or 6 different
Yeah, they
songs.
did.
And it just got progressively worse and worse and more attacking. And apparently Drake was like, all your information is false because I knew that you hired someone to follow me. So I gave you fake planted evidence. Like, I don't
All I know,
personally, that's great. Like, I think planting evidence that you're a pedophile to fuck with someone is not as bad as being a pedophile, but it's also not good. Like it's not a good
yeah.
look.
All I have to say is Kendrick is eating Drake up. At first I
Yeah.
thought they were going like okay, like both of them were kind of like even, and then Kendrick just like surpassed.
Yeah. I agree from what I know. And I mean, calling out the family members, that's a
No,
level.
that was crazy. And then the last verse is Dear Aubrey, like talking to Drake directly. But like that's so crazy. Like he addressed the whole family.
What went on?
I don't know. What did you have to do? Like what did you do to piss that man off that bad?
Okay, this reminds me of talking about like watching The Bachelor versus The Bachelorette in college. I always prefer to watch The Bachelorette because on The Bachelor, all the drama between the women is it's just for TV. You know, it doesn't even really feel real.
Mhm.
But the drama on The Bachelorette, like men go absolutely feral when they have drama. There's no holds barred. It's just balls to the wall crazy. And
Yeah.
this is that. Like compared to the whole Nikki Meg situation or any feud I've ever heard of any female celebrities get into, this is a level that I've never experienced.
Yeah,
It's
no. It
insanity.
it is insane.
The last piece of pop culture corner I have to speak about is the Met Gala. How do you feel about the Met Gala?
I think it's cool. But like it costs so much money, like we're paying all attention to these celebrities when people are literally being killed in Gaza. Like
It's giving very Hunger Games to me. Like we're
that's
definitely
the capital. Like
we're definitely the plebs and like district. I don't think I'm district 12, but maybe I'm like
I don't think
district
we're
8.
District 12.
I think I'm
Maybe
like giving
even
district.
like 6.
Okay, district 6. I'll take it. Textiles, whatever the fuck.
I don't know.
It's odd to me. Also, it's so funny to hear everyone sitting at home in their pajamas critiquing these designer looks. Like
Like what do we like What merit do we have to be doing that?
That also, if it's pleasing to the eye, great. If it's not, then don't look at it. I just don't think it's really that serious. And I was laughing my ass off watching these TikToks of girls who are like fashion girlies doing these recaps. I was like, please, what is your qualification? Like,
Yeah.
why do I care about your opinion? I can look with my own eyes and make my own opinion.
But the fact that Zendaya walked the carpet twice in two different looks, that's the first time in history that that's ever happened.
That that was phenomenal.
Yeah, and then
Zendaya,
Cardi B also ate.
I
Cardi
didn't
B
see her
ate.
look.
She was dressed basically like her dress was huge, and she basically dressed like it was supposed to be the embodiment of a black rose, and apparently that hits on the theme because the theme is based off some short story, and the short story
Mhm.
is about like the passage of time and like death. So like the black rose touches on all parts of the theme because of what it
Oh,
represents.
that's
She
cool.
like low key ate, and when she was coming out of like the hotel, she didn't want anybody to see, so she had her like entourage dressed as a funeral procession and hold up umbrellas to completely block her as she was walking from the hotel to the car.
That's iconery.
Yeah, I fear it is.
My favorite looks that I saw were Tyla, Sabrina
Ooh,
Carpenter.
Tyla. I didn't see Sabrina Carpenter's, but Tyla's? She ate.
It was so good. Sabrina did a reference to Alice in Wonderland,
Mhm.
and Lana did a reference to Beauty and the Beast. Like, it was just very cutesy. And I loved all three of their looks. Those are my top three. And Lil Nas always does really well as well.
Mhm.
He's just giving like the essential man who's not just gonna wear a suit, which is always
Yeah.
a queer. So we appreciate him for that. Any other pop culture moments from this
I
past
feel
week?
like the pop culture's been dry.
I agree. I totally agree. And you know what? Kendrick tried to spice it up for us a little.
Yeah, he did.
So thanks to him. Next up we have Squish of the Week. I'm gonna go run and get mine. You can do your little intro.
Okay. So my squish of the week is actually my least favorite squishmallow of my collection. I wanted the apple cider one that Haley had, and I think I've shown that as well. Because I just liked it. And when I was looking for it, somebody was selling the apple cider with this squishmallow. So that's how it came into my possession. But mine is this little corn. Its name is Cornelius, of course, because he's a corn, and it says that he loves to lend a helping hand, but be warned, he's known for his cheesy puns. They're so bad you won't be able to help but giggle. For Cornelius, there is no task too big or small, and whatever he helps you with, you're guaranteed to have a ton of pun because he likes
I
puns.
don't I don't love him.
I don't love him either, but he came with the other apple cider, so
Yeah, he's a tag along. He's giving
yeah.
spare.
That's why I said he's my least favorite in my collection, but I still have him.
Well, I also have my least favorite in my collection.
That was
I just
cute.
wanted to. Okay, here's the thing. There's a backstory. I just wanted to be. Okay, I wanted to be Squishmallow so bad. I have this whole piece of lore associated with me that is Save the Bees. Okay, I scammed.
Mhm.
I don't know if
You
I want to tell this
scammed.
story. Yeah, okay. So I used to work for this like philanthropy organization in college, and they did this like giving week where it was like,
Mhm.
oh, we're usually the people that get donations, but we're gonna donate. And the lady who ran my office, like the manager or whatever, was like, every single employee has to donate because if everyone donates, we'll get 100% and we get like a prize and we get recognized for like being the college who had the most donators from the philanthropy department. And I was like, well, bitch, that's not really my mission because I have $8 in my bank account. Okay. I'm in college and I'm struggling. So I am not going to donate to this cause. I was like, I'm not giving my $8. Like, you can literally take it out of my paycheck if you want to do that. She would not let it go. She literally donated in my name. The manager donated in my name. I don't know how much she did, but all of a sudden I started getting emails from Save the Bees. And it was like, thank you for your contribution, Hailey. Would you like to contribute more to your cause of save the bees? And I'm like, bitch, out of everything you could have done in my name, because I was being stubborn and didn't want to give my last $8, you chose save the bees. It could have been Planned Parenthood. Could have been, I don't know, something very meaningful. Like, I'm sure Save the Bees is great, but it's just this piece of lore that it's like Cameron will constantly fuck with me. Like, oh yeah, you like to save the bees, huh? Yeah, you love to save the bees. So I wanted to be Squishmallow. This one's cute. She has a little crown, which I'm not like wild about. And she also says best. Okay. The reason why she says best is because she came along with a ladybug that says friend.
Okay.
And
Oh,
unfortunately,
I know where it went.
yeah. So we're just best, I guess. And you know what? It's very fitting that I'm the best. She ain't a friend though.
Yeah.
So
So
we're already
now
of this
showing our
episode.
least favorites.
I don't know why we both just picked the
Because
runt of
I
the
knew I never showed that one before.
same. Yeah, I
So I
knew
was
that I
like,
was never gonna show that until the last second. Buzzer beater squish.
Lore Nugget
Alright.
time?
I think it's time for lore. You wanna go?
Yeah, so my lore nugget is again from childhood because I feel like all my best lore is from when I was a kid. But I really like this lore because I am a very clumsy person. Like I don't notice it because I've been clumsy for so long that like I just am like, "Oh, I just hit my head on a bookcase. Cool." Like moving on with my day. Like I don't really pay attention. But this one, like everybody else around me is like, "You literally are falling all of the time. Like how do you have bruises over every inch of your body?" And I'm like, "I don't know." But this one sticks out to me because when I was a kid, my dad, to add context, my dad, he was a bowler. It's like super big where I'm from in New Jersey. Bowling is huge. And my dad did bowling in high school. And he literally like messed up his right hand because he's right-handed. So he retaught himself how to bowl on his left hand. Like I grew up in the bowling alley. Like my sister and him were on a like daddy daughter bowling league team. Like it was big. So I think this was my fifth birthday party or sixth. I was in kindergarten. I'm 90% sure, and I was having it at the bowling alley, as one does. And I never been to this bowling alley before at all. So, of course, one thing else about me besides that I'm clumsy is that I'm a yapper. I've always been a yapper since I could talk. So, of course, I was going into this bowling alley, and most have like a door, and then it's like a little entrance, and then a door to the actual building. It's like a little walkway. And
Yeah.
so I was like backwards, walking, talking to my parents, just yap, 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 about what? I couldn't tell you. But all of a sudden I go to turn around and I'm like, the door, someone opened it for me. So I was walking backwards and I turned around and there was a pole, like a handrail pole in the middle of the walkway to like segregate the people going in versus going out. And so as I turned around, it was like right at the perfect moment where I just forehead slammed into the pole and like on my birthday party, like started crying. Um that happened to me, but lore about my sister as well. She also got injured at a bowling alley because there was this game called Crazy Taxi. It was like one of like the little driving games, and my dad told her not to run while he was bowling, and she did run in the arcade, tripped over Crazy Taxi and lost some teeth, or at least
Oh
a
no.
tooth. And my dad gave her a bowling rag and went back to bowling because he was like, "I told you not to run." So me and my sister both have injuries. We're both clumsy, and we've both been injured in the bowling alley. So
I love the bowling alley lore.
Yeah, no, bowling alleys were a big part of my childhood. Like I miss the food. Like something about the like ultimate like cheesy bacon ranch fries that they have at bowling alleys. No other place compares. Like the bowling alleys do it the best. And like the wings, like the pizza.
Girl, I had different lore written down. I'm abandoning it because I have to also share my bowling alley lore.
Okay, period.
I will give this planned lore next week because the bowling alley was also a big part of my growing up experience.
In
As a
Texas, y'all love bowling alleys like that?
no, actually, I'm just wait. Okay,
Okay.
this is not a popularized thing. This is because I'm a fucking weirdo. Okay, I'm not a sporty athletic girl. You look at me, you don't really see, athletic prowess. So I was not about to take PE in the school. Okay, no, that was my nightmare. That was hell on earth.
Yeah.
I was not about to change in the middle of my school day as an awkward middle schooler. I was not about to, fuck up my makeup, fuck up my hair, fuck up my whole life for the rest of the day. So, like, when I was going to be in front of my crush, I would be fucked up after gym class. Like, hell no. I was not about to be in PE. So my mom found out that I could take PE over summer school. And it was like 3 or 4 weeks that I just like showed up to the summer school program, got on a bus with a bunch of other fucking unathletic losers, and we either went to a pool to swim or we went to the bowling alley to bowl, and that was our PE. Well, I did that for all 3 summers of middle school, so I didn't have to take shit PE in class. And at the bowling alley, many defining moments occurred. Okay. I did not bowl. I think I bowled over that summer school PE maybe a total of 4 times because we were just hood rats, just getting into things. The smell of a bowling alley to this day, I walk in the door and immediately I'm transported back
Yeah.
to a time. I mean, think of the type of kids that have to take summer school. There's nothing wrong with that. Like, obviously, I was there too, but there's a weird smattering of kids that are in there. It's either
Mm-hmm.
kids that have like been through something in the school year where they have to make up PE, which is like, damn, if you got to make up PE, that's a little rough. Or they're the weird theater fucking unathletic creeps like me, but also like the men who don't take PE. Like, that's a little bit different than like a little theater girl not taking PE. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It was just a weird smattering of group of people, and I was half traumatized, half like living my fucking life. I felt like I was just exposed to way too much in this
Mm-hmm.
summer school program. I remember vividly one time we rolled up to the bowling alley, and there's this huge procession of children just like walking in the door, and me and my friend are like, so what's going on in that car? Like, something is going on in that car on the side of the parking lot in the bowling alley. So instead of going straight in the door, me and my bestie, we walked around the side and we were like, what's going on in this car? We put our little grubby hands right up to the window and look in. 2 kids are just like fucking in the car. It's a small Texas town in the summer, in the middle of the day. What else is there to do, really? But we like shit because we're like in 7th grade. So me and my friend are like, oh my God, people are having sex in the parking lot. We didn't tell the coaches or anything. We were just like, hee ha ha. Well, the coaches heard, pray tell, of the situation because all the kids started laughing and giggling and da da da. The coaches told the bowling alley. The bowling alley called the cops, and they had to take these people away for like public indecency since like I was a child. We saw that happening. That was crazy. I also got my period in the pool during summer PE, like the worst place you could ever get your period. So immediately I'm out of the pool, I'm gone, I'm done. And my friends, like, in solidarity, got out of the pool with me, and we're like sitting in the little bleachers or whatever, and we're
Mm-hmm.
just like chilling. And this group of boys that we were kind of like, side eyeing or whatever, came over and they're like, why did y'all all get out of the pool? Like, why did y'all all get out of the pool? Like, what's going on? Like, are y'all on your period or something? And I remember I didn't have to say shit. Like, my friends that I did this class with, they were real as fuck. Both of them jumped in and were like, no, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Get the fuck away from her. Like, it was iconic.
I'm gonna tell my first period story next podcast as my learning
Oh
kit.
my God, yes. I knew
It's not even that crazy, but just like what we talk about on this podcast and where I was then is just very, it's just very weird. The circumstances of that.
I cannot wait. So yeah, bullying very defining for me as a child.
Okay,
And before
period.
we get into our topic of today, we have one last category I'm not going to forget about this week,
Yay.
and that is currently reading segment. So what are we currently reading?
So I'm reading this book called The Dark Days Club. It is actually like a book I've owned for a really long time. I pulled it from my TBR jar to read because if you don't watch my channel, every month I have this TBR jar that has the majority of the books that I physically own in it. I just haven't updated it recently. And I pull a book every month. And if I don't read it by the end of the year, I have to unhaul it. So I'm like 4 months behind. So I decided to do a reading vlog where I read all four of them, like TBR jar picks my reads. And so I'm reading this book, and it's basically a young adult historical fiction that takes place the same era as Bridgerton, like late or early 1800s. And it's basically this girl who she's in London, and she like literally had to like present herself to the queen, whatever, like very Bridgerton kind of esque in that way. But it's actually like way darker because like one of the maids disappeared the night before she had to present herself to the queen. So now she's like trying to figure out what happened, and she's being introduced to like the darker side of London and like this boy, and there's like magic. Yeah.
That sounds good.
Yeah, everybody that I know, we're not talking about Goodreads, but I still like to see what other people like rated on there. Like I'm like, what do people do? Like, let me see. But people on there, everybody, all my friends have rated it 4 and 5 stars. Maybe like a
Okay, so
3.5 is the lowest.
maybe this could be a historical thing that I get into.
Yeah, it's pretty good so far.
I'm open to it. I'm currently reading, also for a vlog, Unmissing by Minka
Mm.
Kent. I've never read from this author. She's like a little KU thriller author.
Mm.
And Unmissing is basically about this guy who his first wife was kidnapped, snatched,
Oh.
gone. Nobody found her, and she was pronounced like just assumed dead, basically,
Mhm.
because there was no trace of her. And so he remarried. He has this beautiful life with this new woman. They have kids together, magical life. Well, his first wife, 10 years after she went missing, comes knocking on the door and is like, "Hi, hello, I escaped my kidnapper."
It's giving, what is that book by Taylor Jenkins Reid, but like the dark version?
Yes. No, it's literally that. One True Loves.
I wanna read that
But
one.
that was a 5 star for me. I loved it. And this is also shaping up to be a 5 star for me. I
Really?
love Missing. I'm 85% of the way through, and I'm absolutely obsessed with it. There have already been like 2 or 3 twists that absolutely shocked me. It's so short, it's
Mhm.
so easy to read. It's just like the perfect little fast-paced thriller, and
Hmm.
it's so unique.
Ooh, it
Like
actually
it's
has
so
a lot of ratings.
Oh, really?
Yeah, 54,000 with a 4.02. A 4.02 for a thriller? Crazy.
That's really good. Yeah. She is like the perfect balance of domestic thriller, like it's still like approachable. It's not anything crazy, but it's unique. It's not just like
Mhm.
every other cheating drama thriller.
That sounds good.
Yeah, so we're both reading good books. Slay for that. And in today's episode, as I talked about at the top of the show, we're going to be teaching each other about little essential pieces of lore to us that we feel like the other person should know about. So I'm going to be teaching daijah about dramageddon, also known as Bye Sister.
Mine is actually also makeup related, so that's really cool. I do know some about My Sister, but like I don't really remember. Like I
I
remember watching the videos, but
Girl, this is my whole life. Like when I tell you Dramageddon like defined an era for me. I remember exactly where I was when I watched Spy Sister. Okay. I know everything. I'm gonna give you the full tea. So are you ready for my recap of Spy
yes, I'm
Sister?
ready.
So to those in the audience who have no idea what Spy Sister is, basically there were these two makeup gurus on YouTube. And as I talked about in past episodes, before I was a booktube girl, I was a makeup guru girl. I was
Me
obsessed
too.
with makeup YouTubers. We've talked about that. It's just a thing for us. So I loved Tati Westbrook. She
Mm-hmm.
used to be Glam Life Guru, and I was obsessed with her. I just thought she was so beautiful, so perfect.
Mm-hmm.
She had great makeup tips, and she was buddies with James Charles. So I think we all know, probably not for the best reasons.
Reasons.
Yeah, he's kind of cringe, and beyond that, maybe criminal, as we'll get into as I yeah, James is not the best guy upon reflection, but he was just this cutie little makeup guy, and he was like one of the first gay male people to really find a audience in the makeup
Mm-hmm.
space. I think he was the first male identifying cover girl ever. So pretty iconic. They became friends over the internet, just like Daijah and I. And
Imagine if we have to make our own bi sister.
oh my god, no, never. But they just like became friends, like the same way that we did. So like
Mm-hmm.
very accessible, very attainable, seems normal. Well, things started to go wrong when James went to Coachella and he did a sponsorship at Coachella for Sugar Bear hair. And if y'all
Oh,
were
not
around,
Miss Sugar Bear.
if you were on the internet from the year 2016 to 2019, you definitely know about Sugar Bear hair. There are
They
these
look
little,
delicious.
they did look
Like
delicious.
I was like,
Little
I want to eat one.
same. I didn't even care about like the
The
vitamin benefits or
benefits.
whatever. Yeah, they were just little gummies that were supposed to help your hair look better, but
Mm-hmm.
they looked like the most delicious bright blue little gummy bears. It looked like, the fruit snack in the Scooby-Doo pack that was
The
like opaque
Scooby
red.
Doo one. That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yes, the Sugar Bear hair gummies looked like that. So like they just looked delicioso. There was no problem with taking a Sugar Bear hair sponsorship, really. But here's the complicating factor is that
Mm.
Tati owns a wellness brand. Okay, Tati has, I don't even know the fucking name of her brand, but
I can
she
look it
made
up.
little beauty pills. Yeah.
Yeah.
And James, as her bestie, was supposed to be touting her beauty pills. She did not want her bestie trying to back a
Halo
competitor for,
Beauty.
yes, Halo Beauty. That's her pills. I don't even know if they're still in business, but at the
I think they
time, business,
are.
okay, period. So she still has a little loyal audience of Haloers, but at the time, like it was a big thing. Like business was
Yeah.
booming. She had just launched it. So she was understandably upset that James would rep a competitor of hers as her friend. And a few weeks went by after Coachella. There were like cryptic Instagram story posts from both of them. So like people knew that there was tension because of the
Hmm.
hair gummy thing. Well, one fateful day, I remember getting a YouTube notification. It's like, okay,
Yes.
Tattoo West video. And I was like, okay, period. Like, gonna watch this after class. Can't wait. Then I see it's all caps. Bye,
Bye,
sister.
sister.
And I literally didn't go to class because I was like, I have to watch this right now. Like
That's the best reason
everything,
to miss class.
yeah, everything must stop. Like, what is this bi sister? I immediately knew she's gonna spill some tea, and it's gonna be about
But I feel
James.
like you have to preface that James Charles, his whole thing is hi sister. Like I feel like some people may
Oh
not
yeah.
know that.
So if you don't know, the bi sister reference is because James would open all of his videos saying, "Hi sisters." And it like became a big thing. He had this merch line called Sisters. He had this tour called the Sister Tour. Like his brand was just sisters.
Sisters.
Everything, if he got a Starbucks drink, it was Sister Starbucks. If he was gonna go to the fucking splash pad, it was the Sister Splash Pad. Okay. Like everything that started with an S was Sister something. So Tati, being cunty in a great way, I fear, said, "Bye, sister," and had this long ass, like 45-minute video tearing this man to shreds. Like, she read him for filth. The allegations against this man, she did not just come up here and say he shouldn't have supported my like opposing brand at Coachella. It was more than that. She ripped this man a new asshole. Said he's a predator. Said that he knowingly hits on straight men and tries to turn them, quote unquote, and thinks that he's entitled to straight men sleeping with him because, quote, he's a celebrity. And this is something that he said at her birthday dinner. Okay, there's an iconic part of the Bar Sister video where she goes, and you did it at my birthday dinner. Like, time and place. Setting my birthday dinner talking about dick and cock. Like, she is a 40-year-old woman.
I'm just thinking about now the story that you have about your bachelorette party, or what it was.
Oh my!
What was it? Your wedding party is giving similar vibes. You don't know what I'm talking about? No,
No.
the thing that you had, the party before your wedding at your maid of honor's house.
Our shower, our wedding shower.
Yes, your wedding shower. I couldn't think of the word. It's giving you
Yeah,
similar
I'm
vibes.
not even gonna spill my own tea, but that also was a thing. I've been in the position Tati was in, and
Yeah.
it's frustrating. It's very frustrating. And she said the reason why she posted the video was because as a friend, she could not get through to him. She was trying to have like a private conversation about it, and she thought that he was unreachable. And the only way that she could reach him was to blast it to the whole internet and basically put their private friendship beef out there. Well, things blew up when she posted Bye Sister. Everyone was on team James is over party. This was like the height of cancel culture, I feel. Like 2018, it was going off. So immediately all the iconic people involved in like the YouTube friend groups started unfollowing James. Tana
like
Mojo, Manny MUA. Tana Mojo had been such good friends with him. She unfollowed. Shane Dawson, Jeffree Star, Gabriel Zamora, everybody unfollowed James. And I remember FaceTiming.
And they all problematic.
They all don't have room to talk. I don't know why.
None.
They immediately were like,
Jeffree?
They were just glad. Right. They were just glad they weren't the victim, I think. I had FaceTimed my friends from high school, and we were all just watching the live subscriber count of his.
I was too. And hers, and having them side by side and seeing hers go up and his go down. Yeah. I forgot about that.
Oh my God, by the second, hers would climb and his would drop dramatically. Like thousands of people every other second unsubscribing from James and subscribing to Tati. It was crazy. Well, James responds like tearfully, basically saying he feels betrayed. I think he posted like a little video that was later deleted, or he just posted it on Twitter or something like that. But he came back a couple days later with his long ass video called No More Lies, where he basically said everything Tati said is a lie, and he gave all these receipts to try to disprove everything that she said. But the problem is that a lot of his quote unquote evidence didn't really disprove what she said. It was just like excuses for why he did what she said he did. So like she didn't really stutter with the allegations. He was just saying, no, but this is why. So and he had Nikita Dragon backing him up, which she's got her own set of yeah. And this is when things really started to hit the fan. Like you thought it had gone off. No. People started saying these outrageous allegations. Like James' brother posted some cryptic tweet that's like, people always want to hide behind their screens on the internet and da-da-da. So like, okay, your brother's being bullied on the internet, sure. And Jeffree Star quote tweeted it and said something insane like, and you know why you had to move out of that man's house and back to New York, Ian, and like silenced James Charles' underage brother. Like, Jeffree Star came out and said his husband, domestic partner, whoever, Nathan, at the time, Nathan had banned James Charles from their home. Like, apparently everyone had a big issue with James behind the scenes. There was this one makeup girl who wasn't as big as the rest of these people, but she came out and said that James had repeatedly tried to hook up with her boyfriend, knowing that not only is he straight, but he's in a relationship with her, like James's colleague. And so the No More Lies video really didn't do anything other than James gave the reason for why he was doing the predatory actions that he was doing towards not only straight men, but underage men as well, underage boys as well. And he said, y'all have to understand and hear me out. It's because I'm desperate.
The desperate? My new catchphrase has been "be so serious," and be so serious.
Yeah, he really, with tears in his eyes, deadass locked vision with the camera and said, y'all, it's because I'm desperate. That's
Like,
crazy.
you could never pry those words out of my lips.
No, you could be waterboarding me and I would be like, I stand by it. Like, I would never. Desperation is not an excuse for being a predator. Like, I don't. Anyway.
I hate that. Like, I'm the type of person, like, I always say this, like, if you are a bad person, I don't want to say people are bad, but if you have a bad quality to you, like you're racist or you're sexist, just stand behind it. Just be like, yeah, I'm racist. Cool. I know where you stand. I know where I stand. Whatever. But if you're fake racist, like, why is he pretending not to be a predator?
Right. Like, everybody knows it. You're
like,
done.
just be for real. Just be like, yep, what she said was true.
You are.
And then I'd be like, okay, well, at least he admitted it.
Right. And he's going to say it with his whole chest and stand behind it. My thing with that is we all have something. Like, you're not going to get away with saying that you're a perfect person. So when your fatal flaw is exposed, why wouldn't you just like approach with humility and say, I'm sorry, and try to learn? Also, like, there's a difference between, you know, being a horrible criminal person and also being a flawed person. I think a lot of people are just scared to be flawed because they think that it automatically puts them in the category of like horrible criminal.
I just want to say though, horrible does not equal criminal. I just have to say that. Okay. Like, criminals doesn't mean that you're a horrible person if just because you're a criminal.
Right. I was thinking in the context of
in this context.
Yeah. In this context, James being horrible means he is a criminal, allegedly, according to Tati in 2018 in her video. So the No More Lies shit comes out and basically everybody leaves YouTube for a second. Like, all the makeup girls just kind of take a break.
It shook the community.
It did. Because Jeffree Star saw this opportunity with everyone leaving to capitalize. So Shane Dawson gets involved in the makeup community because Shane Dawson gets involved in everything. And him and Jeffree film a collab series creating a makeup palette. Yes. Shane was basically saying, if a predator can do it, so can fucking I, and I don't know shit about makeup. They made bank off this palette.
Can I just say, I have both the palettes and I have the mirror. But to be fair, this was 2018. This was 6 years ago. I was 15, and I asked my mom to buy them for me for my birthday.
There you go.
Then I'm not getting rid of them. They're good palettes. They're good quality. I'm not gonna be like, oh, let me just throw it in the trash. Like, absolutely not. Like, nobody gotta know. Like, the bread has already been spent.
Right. So It was very successful, and
It
I feel
was.
Shane made bank. It was like a
Bank.
6-part series with millions of views on every video. Like, he was
That's how we got them
raking.
twins now. That's crazy to me. Have you seen that?
What are you talking about?
The fact that Shane Dawson and Ryland have twins. Like they got a surrogate and they have twin
No,
babies. I swear to
you are
God.
fucking kidding
I
me.
swear. And they literally were like doing videos about it. Like, especially Ryland on his channel, they were doing videos about like the surrogate and going to visit them and like the ultrasounds and like our sons are, I think they're sons. I think they're like, our sons are here or whatever. They
What?
had them like
the-
maybe like the end of last year.
Well, that's a little concerning. I didn't know about that.
Yeah.
What I'm about to share about this lore, y'all in the audience will be concerned as well that this man has children, because after
Yeah.
they do this collab series, Shane and Jeffrey are just feeling on top of the world. They feel like they
Mhm.
own the makeup sphere on YouTube until Tati, Miss Girl, serves cunt yet again. She comes out with another tell-all video claiming that she was manipulated by Shane and Jeffrey to make the Bi Sister video. And she apologized to James and said a lot of that was private information. I shouldn't have done it in that way. I had a lot of people encouraging me to do that, and those people went on to profit from the whole situation. I'm sorry. I believe her.
No,
I
10 out
believe
of
her.
10. But still, even though she was coerced into doing it, she still has to
Still
take
bad.
responsibility for her own actions.
Still not a great look to put all your personal information out there, sucking dick and cock. Like, you don't need to be doing that on the internet, girly. Do your makeup and go home. But Shane and Jeffrey, like, I do believe that they did that. They just don't seem like great people. And to me,
Yeah.
Shane extremely triggered reaction to Tati's second video tells me all I need to know.
Oh,
Because
yeah, I
this
saw that
man
video.
Instagram Live. Y'all have to go look this up right now. Pause the podcast and go watch the clip of Shane Dawson yelling at Tati Westbrook on Instagram Live. It's insane. He's losing his mind. He's panicking. He literally tweeted and immediately deleted, "This is all lies. I'm losing my mind." Whoa. Whoa. No thought. No thought at all. He was just triggered because he didn't think that she was going to expose him like that. Jeffrey doesn't go psycho in the way that Shane does, but he does post a response video basically removing himself from the whole situation, deny, which public relations wise was probably a good strategy, but he kind of used this as his way out, and then he went on, as we know, to do the whole Yak Star Ranch bit. That's like when
Yeah.
this happened. He was like, I'm removing myself from the beauty community. Let me move to Wyoming and sell yak meat, but also like show the yaks that I'm selling the meat from on my Snapchat and give them names before I kill them and sell their meat. That was a whole whole other thing. But once Tati put Jeffrey and Shane under fire, people start digging. Okay, the people of Twitter did their fucking thing. Shane and Jeffrey are canceled worldwide.
Yeah.
I also remember exactly where I was when this occurred. I was scrolling through this expose thread on Twitter in disbelief. Jeffrey and Shane both have horrible, I mean, abhorrent. These are not, oops, I said something wrong. These are intentionally racist,
Mhm.
pedophile adjacent, and just straight up disgusting, lewd things that are on video posted by them. This is not someone
No,
saying, oh
that's
my God, I saw this in public happening and I'm going to expose it. Like, they posted it.
that's the thing that gets me is because if you got something to say for real, at least say it in private to your little friends in a key, you know? But like posting it on the internet,
Shane, the
Shay literally
compilation that
did
I
blackface multiple times.
that the compilation that I saw, literally, it looked like, you know, like in a true crime documentary when they're showing the murderer like be fucking odd. and you're just
Yeah.
like getting that eerie feeling. I got that
Mhm.
eerie motherfucking feeling watching the video of like him standing with his black friend who, like, I know she hated his guts. Like, there was no way she could have sat there and been friends with him. Hearing the things that he's saying right in front of her, and he was like, oh, hee hee ha ha, this is so funny, me saying slurs in front of my black friend, let me put it on the internet and everyone will laugh. What's going on? Why are you turning your allegedly friend into a laughing stock? That's crazy. Also, the sexualization of Willow Smith,
I don't remember that, but
he had a video clip talking about Willow Smith, who was 11 years old at the time, in a sexual manner.
I'm not surprised. Shane likes kids.
He
Allegedly.
also allegedly. He also publicly shared on his podcast that he came on his cat.
Yeah.
So it's giving reality. And when this is happening, I mean, I think I personally and really everyone else that I knew was like, well, sayonara, au revoir. Like, you're done. There's no coming back from this. Like, I'm never going to support you. It's not going to happen like that. Like, you're cute for the time, but your time's done because you've been exposed. And I don't want to support this type of man. He comes out with, I literally quote this video, I'm not kidding, at least 8 times a week. Like, at least once a day, where he is so triggered and cannot just like come down to earth and apologize and take responsibility. Instead, he goes, I, Shane Yaw, yeah, that's right, my real name, am not a fucking pedophile. And it's literally so crazy looking. Like, it's giving true crime. That is the only way that I can describe it.
Because the fact that
And
you have to say, I'm not a pedophile is really crazy.
yeah.
And now he has kids?
And now he has kids. That's terrifying. Didn't know that. But Tati and James just go back to posting their little makeup content. And I feel like, maybe this is an unpopular opinion, I feel like things shook out the way they were supposed to. I feel like Tati is just doing her little makeup girly thing, which is fine with me. Jeffrey and Shane are out of my radar and out of like the public's radar. I feel like they have their weird niche fans that don't care about, morals, I guess, but not really abhorrent. Like, everyone's just forgetting about it. People remember, and the people who are going to support them are going to support them, and we can't change that. But they kind of lost their massive platform, and James Charles fell off. He still posts, and like a little girlies that want to watch him can, but like he's been essentially outed, and like multiple allegations come out. I feel like every few months there's
Mhm.
screenshots posted by a 16 or 17-year-old boy that's like, why is James Charles in my DMs? Like, everyone knows everything. It's all been out there on the table. So I'm not really mad at Tati.
No, me either. She just said what she had to say.
Yeah, and she took down Jeffrey and Shane, which I think she's absolutely slayed for that.
Yeah.
So that's dramageddon, aka the bi sister.
Okay, for me, mine is recent makeup community drama, and like I feel like I don't be paying attention to the beauty community. Like any drama that they have, like I don't really care. So the fact that I was watching hour-long videos about this, I was like, I'm intrigued. This is very recent. It's about this brand called Youthforia. They are a newer makeup brand. They have like really fun packaging, and they're a new brand. I did want to give my citations. I watched this video by Jen Love, LUV, and that's where I got the information for this. So I would recommend, because this is actually about their foundation, I would recommend going to that video to see exactly what I'm talking about, because you'll understand. I feel like the video adds context because she adds in clips and pictures and stuff. But this is about Euphoria's date night foundation that came out. I don't know when it came out, like recently, probably like the end of last year. And so the thing about this foundation that was like really cool is that apparently you could sleep in it. Now, I don't know why you'd
Oh,
wanna do that, but that's, like, part of the marketing is that it was something
sure.
that you could sleep in. So there's a really popular, TikToker named Gloria George. She is a dark-skinned woman, and she, has a collective following on TikTok and Instagram of about 2,000,000 followers. Over
Oh,
almost
wow.
a 1.5 million of them are on TikTok. So she's pretty big on TikTok. She first started TikTok in about October of 2020, and she was talking about, like, colorism and how she experienced colorism, and then she started, like, transitioning more into, like, just general makeup reviews, but then starting in 2022, she started, like, actively reviewing foundation, and, like, she became known as, like, the dark skin TikToker that reviews foundation for dark skinned women, like, she talks about the shades and the colors and the this and that. So she is, like, very fair, I feel like, when she comes to her foundation, like, when she loves something, she raves about it, but when she doesn't, she's obviously annoyed, and she'll be like, "Who is this for?" Like, she's very funny
Mhm.
about it, but, like, I feel like she's fair, like, because, like, who is it for? Like, she's being
Yeah, yeah.
real. So the new Euphoria Date Night Foundation came out towards the end of last year, and Gloria tried it, and online, like, on the pictures, the darkest shade, like, looked like it would match her. Like, Gloria is, like, pretty, like, she's not brown skin, like, she's dark skin. Like, she's not, like, the darkest that I've ever seen, but she's fairly dark. Like, that's just the facts. And, she thought that the shade based off the online pictures would match her. Like, it looked like a nice dark brown. It comes to her, and she puts it on her face, and it's very light. It's, like, basically like a brown, like, for a brown skin person, like, it's not meant for anybody dark skin at all, like, it wouldn't work for any of them. So, like, obviously, she's like, "Okay, like, this is annoying, like, who is this for? Like, da da da, whatever." But, like, that's not anything new. Like, there are plenty of
Yeah.
brands that come out with foundation ranges, and they're not good. They're all like shit, like, we all know. Um, so the founder, Fiona Chan or Ko-chan, Fiona Ko-chan, she released 2 apologies after Gloria and other dark skinned reviewers started reviewing the foundation. So in the first one, she was like, she always planned to extend the shade range, and that she, like, has been planning to extend it since before she even put out the foundation originally, but because she's a small, like, indie brand, that she couldn't put out that many shades. Um and she also wanted to put out the foundation first to see if people would like the formula before expanding the shade range. She described it as proof of concept. That's what she wanted. And of course, Jackie
Oh,
Aina, yeah, of course, Jackie Aina, the queen,
the
chimed in basically saying that, of course, like, basically what she's saying is that tanned people or lighter, basically, because the shade was tan. It was tan. Like, it was darker than me, but I'm, like, light. Like, I feel like I'm pretty light compared to, like, the range of black people can be. Um, so it was basically tan, and she was like, "These people are basically being the case study for the product, and anybody who isn't dark skinned is basically now the default and it getting it first." And it's like showing that dark-skinned people are seen as an afterthought and get, like, the leftover crumbs. Like, if you're launching she was saying, like, if you're launching a product and you're a new brand and you can't launch a product for everybody, of course, with all the different undertones, have 40 shades, like, that's fine, but, like,
Mhm.
if you're gonna release 10 shades, you need to have an even amount of light, medium, dark, and deep dark shades, like, like, even though you can't have every undertone, at least have a shade for everybody, and if you can't, then don't release foundation. Like, nobody's asking for more foundation. The makeup market's already oversaturated. Like, we don't need your little 10 light shades. Like, be so
Right.
serious.
Also, why is that never an issue with like super pale? Like I have a couple friends who are like redhead, super, super pale. They always just go for the lightest shade and it just works out. But you would
Yeah.
think if someone was super, super dark, they could just go for the darkest shade and it would just work out. Like,
Yeah. So Fiona then, after Jackie Aina, released a second apology basically saying that she is trying to connect with people in the community and other people to make everybody feel included, and that she would never alter the tone or shade of foundation online pictures, because people were saying, of course, that the picture was significantly darker than what it came out in real life. Like, if I had to describe it online, it looked like an espresso color. Like, it looked like dark brown, and then in reality, it was the color of maybe like caramel. Like, it wasn't
Oh,
even like milk chocolate, it was like caramel color, like the foundation. So like espresso versus caramel, very
yeah.
different colors. So she was like, I didn't alter any shades or whatever. So she also said that the brand was going to release 10 new shades, and they planned to originally do this 24 months after the original launch. But it was then reduced to 4 months, from 24 months to 4 months, because of all the outrage of this foundation. So everybody's like, okay, okay, like whatever. So Gloria, the original person, I feel like, who like was like, this shade is not dark skin friendly. She tried
Yeah.
their newest darkest foundation shade, and when I tell you, it's basically jet black. Like, she compared it to black face paint. Like, she put it on her face and she was like, which one is black face paint and which one is the New York Euphoria darkest foundation shade. Um and if you look at the website, there's really only still like 4 or 5 shades for those with darker complexions out of like 20 shades now. And there's like, and when I say darker complexions, I mean like brown skin and dark skin, not just dark skin. Like, basically there's 15 shades for people who are light skin and tan, and then for deeper complexions and like brown skin and deeper skin, there's only like 4 or 5. So it's still not adding up very well. And now the darker shade is literally black. And it was exposed by other TikTokers who went to the ingredients list, and like, because people were basically being like, y'all are delusional, like, it's not black, it's just really, really dark brown. But a TikToker went into the ingredients list for the foundations, and in the lighter foundations, it had like every pigment. Like, it had white, it had, yellow, blue, red, like, all the colors we need to make every color. The darkest foundation, literally the only pigment in it was black iron oxide. Literally the only pigment. There was no white, there was no red, no yellow, no blue, no nothing. It was literally black iron oxide. And so, like, people tried to justify it as like it was a mixing pigment or whatever, but it wasn't marketed as that, and they didn't release a white mixing pigment. And it's kind of
Right.
known that black is terrible to mix with, because literally people are going in to Sephora to put the foundation on their hand, and if you mix the black mixing pigment, foundation mixing pigment, whatever you want to call it, with the normal foundation, like a lighter foundation, it literally just turns gray. Like, it literally
Right.
just turns gray because it's literally pure black. um
Right.
so other people were saying that, oh, there are really like dark skinned people, like that Gloria, she's dark skinned, but she's not like the darkest that they come, so they think like, oh, it can work for other people. So this other creator, like, there was a ton of creators that tried it, but there was one, like, I think her name's Nadali, and she tried it and it didn't match her either, and she actually did sponsored promotion with Euphoria for this new foundation. And she literally, in the sponsor promotion, put on, it's shade 600 is the darkest shade. She put it on and she was like, oh, it's just too dark. But she tried 590 and 590 worked for her. So that's what they used for the sponsor promotion. But obviously that's not going to work for every single person, because 590 is very red in tone, and like, that's not Gloria, so that's why I didn't match her. um so of course people are like, it's going to match people, but it literally doesn't, because it's literally just black iron oxide, and no human being is pure black. Like, I don't know where people are getting this concept, but it's not. And then the controversy as well continues, because the
Oh,
founder, Fiona, they were obviously had models come so they could take the pictures for the website of the foundation on the models. Of course, as we all know, no person is pure jet black. So they could not find a match for the darkest shade of foundation on that day. So originally it was just a blank picture. Um, and a couple days before launch, she actually went to malls. I don't know where they were located. I couldn't tell you that. But she went to malls with her husband, basically coming up to people who are dark skinned, being like, "Oh, have you ever tried modeling? Can I like do my foundation on you?" She found 2 men. One of them was a perfect match for 590, and then one of them she was saying was a perfect match for 600. But in the video, she okay, also mind you, while she's doing this hunt of trying to find people, she's filming TikToks for it. She's like filming TikToks like, "Let's go find the new model for my deepest foundation shade."
What?
So yeah, she's filming TikToks of it. So in the TikToks, they're obviously edited. So you can see when they put the foundation like on his hand or on his face, it doesn't match. Like it's too dark. Like you can see that it's too dark. But then it will jump cut to them blending it in and it's a perfect match. Like, if you, like, go slowly through the video, you can see that it's too dark, and then it jump cuts, and then it matches, and then it's too dark, like, you can tell that it's not right. So then they claim that he's wearing 600, takes him to a passport photo booth in the mall, has him take the picture, and that's a picture that they're using on their website of this man from the mall. Yes.
Why?
Uh
Why? I mean, even if this had no other controversy around it, why would you think it's a good idea to go to a mall like it's 2001 to recruit a model for your brand who you, I would assume, would want to be seen as professional? And instead of like treating this person with dignity and respect, like taking them to this shoot and really building them up and making them feel beautiful, you literally take a passport photo in the mall? That's just demeaning.
Yeah, so that's basically the controversy around the Euphoria date night foundation that's been going on. And I've just been watching videos about it because I'm like, this is crazy. Like, in what world? Like, okay, you fuck up once and you're like, damn, my bad. I didn't have shades for dark people. Cool. I'm gonna release some more shades. And then the darkest one is pure black. Like I be so serious. Be so serious. And just to add preface to this, the um founder Fiona Kochan is Asian. She's not even white. She is Asian. And people are equating it, basically saying like imagine if a brand released a pure yellow foundation and we're like, "Here for the Asian people." Like it literally is like the same thing. Um
Yeah.
so I was like, this is just kind of crazy because like it's not anything new, but like how do you fuck up twice and then go find a man from the mall and like it's obviously edited in your TikTok. You probably used 590 on him instead of 600 as it is anyway. Like you lying through your teeth.
That is insane. Also, all the pieces are coming together for me right now because a girl who I used to work with at Canes, she works at Sephora and she's like a TikToker. She has like a little bit of an audience, and I saw something from her on my like friends page on TikTok that was like she was getting really mad about some foundation, and I was like, oh yeah, like this happens all the time, like not new. So I didn't even watch it. Now I'm going back to watch because I fear it's this.
Pure black.
That's insane.
The only
It's not
pigment.
like you remember when the Tarte foundations came out and there were just no shades at all for black people,
Yeah.
and people were obviously outraged. Fun fact, I actually wrote a paper about that in college that was published, so
Oh.
yeah, it's called 50 Shades of Pale. I can send it to you. But, um, it wasn't even that, you know? It wasn't even, oh, we forgot. It was just straight up no effort, demeaning, and racist.
Yeah, like to be honest, like if a brand like remember when I talked about Leo Skippy last week?
Yeah.
That crazy guy? I kind of like I don't agree with him. Let me clarify that. But like he was like a brand may not like cater to you. And like I'm just the type of person where like if a brand obviously just wants to have white people purchase their products, just make foundation shades for white people. Like that's cool, like I guess. Like whatever you think is best for you, there's other brands who are going to do what you're not doing. So like whatever.
Not
But
a
like the fact
business
that you went higher side, like that's just like a spit in the face. Like if you want your demographic of customers to be a certain group of people, That ain't got shit to do with me. But then claiming that this foundation is going to be for this certain group of people and it's really pure black is just wild to me. It's just insanity. Like the
That
audacity. And I don't think that the brand owner like meant malice because she literally did go to Sephora and like swatch it on her hand compared to like Fenty and other brands. And she was like, look at how much darker my shade is than their darkest shade. Like she thought she was doing something revolutionary. I really think that she thought she was, but she was not.
no. Wow. Thanks for the recent education. I felt like mine was vintage lore and yours is new lore. So a good balance.
So do not buy Euphoria.
Yeah, don't support euphoria. That's literally abhorrent. But I do want to mention that we prepared two. So maybe in 2 weeks, when we do our next non-bookish episode, we can share our other pieces of lore that we have prepared.
My actual other piece of lore is bookish, but
Oh, this too. Okay, well, we can do that next week.
yeah.
Okay, so get ready for next week's
Really?
episode.
How we both do makeup and then both do books? That's a
Because
little.
that's us. That's just us. We're always aligned.
I love that.
I do love that. So get ready for next week's episode. We'll be sharing book community drama. I will be sharing about a drama that I was actually directly involved in that I don't think anyone knows about. So I'm literally going to be exposing the girls, and I'm very excited.
Is it what I know?
Disney Channel Games?
Yes.
Yeah, so there's a little teaser for y'all. Thank you so much for listening to this week's episode of Gabbing It Up, episode 14. Can't believe it. Thanks for the gab.
Don't be drab.
And we will see you next week.
Bye.